you're working as a DevOps engineer in a company. So somebody joined as a junior engineer in your company. Then how you gonna give permissions on your AWS account? So basically, that's where we're gonna make use of IAM. That's Identity and Access Management. So once you go to IAM, so you're gonna create user. So in this video, we are going to discuss how to what are IAM policies and how to write them. So I'm just gonna explain structure of that IAM as well as this JSON file. So let's create a user. So let's go to create user. Let's say for instance maybe Mahesh for instance. So you're gonna give him console access. I mean they're gonna log into this console, this UI. So you're gonna create a auto generate password, and then you go, if you check this one, so once they sign in they need to change password. So click on next, and then we are going to attach policies. Basically these policies are permissions. So simply I could say an IAM policy is a JSON document, so that contains this kind of format, and basically that defines who can do and what on which resource under what conditions. I'm going to explain that. So basically, if I put simply, the policy is a permission. So if I check in this one, so it's gonna generate a policy like this one. So I'm gonna explain this. So this way you can attach a policy. So that's why you need to understand what are these policies. So these are basically JSON file. So you can see that here as well. If you want to create a policy, you can do here as well. So we're gonna deep dive into policies in next class, but in this class I want you to understand this JSON structure. So let's try. I'm just gonna let's say sample.json. So first you need to understand 5 things. So once you understand these 5 things, then you're gonna be mastered in JSON. So let's try that. So what I'm gonna say, basically JSON starts with this bracket. So you're gonna put everything inside these curly brackets. So let's just put this way. So I don't want. Let's set it here. So basically you're gonna make use of these curly brackets, and inside that there is a key value pair. So what is key value pair? So you're gonna for instance let's say name, and then I'm gonna say Madhukar. Let's put this way. So basically these are this is a key on the left side, and this is gonna be value. So you're gonna separate with them with colon. So why we call this key value pair? Because it contains 2 values, this black and then this black. So it has 2, that's why it's a pair. So everything we're gonna write in a key value pair, and then let's say you're gonna give it a role. For instance, let's say key is a role, and the value is going to be, let's say, DevOps engineer. So but you're seeing this error, so that's where you need to put a comma. So if you hover on it, it says that expected comma. So once you put a comma here, so that's been gone now, the error. So you know how to use these brackets at the start, and you're gonna put everything inside these brackets, and then you need to, if you want to have a new key value pair, you need to put a comma to just even you can write this in a single line as well, but just for the readability you're gonna put this in different lines. And then let's say I'm gonna say skills for instance. So this guy can have multiple skills, right? So that's why you can use this bracket. If we just have one skill, you can put them in code, but if he has multiple skills, then it's gonna say list of skills. So that's where you're gonna use square bracket. So square bracket means it's a list. Just remember, it could be in any programming language. It could be Python or anything else. You're gonna put this. We have a video series Terraform Zero to Hero. In that when we discussed variables, so we used the square brackets for the list. So just remember, in any programming language, square brackets means a list. So I'm gonna say multiple. Let's add Kubernetes. So I'm just gonna put them in different line just for the readability. We don't need to put them in different line, but just for the readability, as I said. So let's say, let me add one more. Let's say for instance Docker, and then this list may have others as well. For instance, there is a key. If you want IAC, so let's say IAC I'm gonna put, and then this may have for instance Terraform, that's an IAC tool, and then Ansible, and then let's add CloudFormation. So why you're seeing this error? If you hold on, it says expected comma, because you're putting another object. Basically it accepts a key value pair. So this is the key, and you're gonna have as a list, you're gonna put individual elements, but in here you kept one more key value pair. That's why you need to put brackets over here, in here, and then here. Now that's been validated. So that's how you can write. So basically you know how to use whenever you put something in quotes, that means it's a string. So basically in this case it's expecting a string. So I mean you are adding string, that's why you put this in quotes. For instance, if it expects a number, what you can do, so let's say, so key should be in quotes. Let's say rank. For instance, if I put in 1, of course it's expecting comma. That's been balanced. So when you add a number, you don't need to put it in quotes. But if you put that number in quotes, that's going to be a string. Just remember, if you put anything in quotes, that's going to be a string. So let's say, and then if you want to have let's say for I'm going to add experience, that's a key, so I'm going to add true, of course semicolon. So this one is a boolean value. It can be true or false, but if you type in capital letter, it's gonna give an error, because it should be in the boolean values should be in lower letters, whether it could be true or false. So that's how we can write. So once you understand this logic, then you can write any policy file. So for let's take IAM.json, I'm gonna create one more file. So this one I'm gonna grab it. So just remember, this policy basically has 5 core building blocks. So principle we got, it says who is going to give who is going to have access, action, then what they can do, and the resource where they can do, and which resource, whether it could be EC2, S3 bucket, or are there any specific S3 buckets. So that's what effect, where they usually to only any either of them. Of course you can have both. Allow or rule, if you have multiple policies, multiple permissions, then you can have. So basically you can have allow or deny, only anyone, I mean only these two. Condition, you can put some conditions as well. So just to explain these things, I have a policy over here. So let me grab it. So let's come back to VS Code, because this highlights our code. So here you can have a version, so you can keep this one as always. This is the latest version you have. So basically AWS gives us just to support these conditions and everything. Just make sure to use whichever AWS gives. You don't need to change. It's basically, it's not our policy version, it's JSON's language version. And the statement, so this is where you can see a list. How can I see a list? Because of this bracket. So what does it mean? So it can have multiple permissions inside it. That's why. So one policy can have many permissions. So that's why you can have a list. So statement, this is mandatory, and the version, just to get you know, if you don't want some features may not work if you don't specify certain versions. So just make sure to use this version, and then statement, you must have statement. Inside that you can have multiple policies or permissions you can have. And this one basically statement ID. So this is an optional thing, but as a human, just make best practice to put this statement ID for the better readability. So let's say allow S3. So this is an optional thing, you can put anything. And this is an important thing, effect. Effect means we're allowing. So whenever you see deny anywhere, that takes precedence. So basically deny takes precedence than allow. So if you see deny, the deny has more priority. So in this case we are allowing. So whom we are allowing? So this is an optional field. I mean we only this one with resources, so such as S3, Lambda, maybe IAM roles, but not with users. So this is an optional, mostly we use with only. Just remember, principal can be used with resource based policies, I'm going to come to this in later videos. You will understand that. So in this case, this user, dev user will be allowed to access. So yes, you can see action allowed on which action and which actions they can do. So in actions we said that, so again it's going to be a list. So we allowed this user, dev user, to do get objects from that bucket and then put objects from that bucket. So that's why you can action the list. Basically he or she can have multiple permissions on this, multiple things they can do. So, and the resource, and which resource they are trying to give access. So in this case we are going to give on this specific bucket. Asterisk means anything inside that bucket. So on this specific resource only we are giving permissions. Other resource, other S3 buckets, this user may not have permissions because of this. So this specific bucket only we are giving permissions, and we have given conditions. When they try to access from this specific address, then only he can access. Of course this is just a internal IP, so basically you can have public IP. This is just for the sake of example. So this one satisfies. If you look in this again, where is that? Minimize. Yeah, if you look in this again, so you can see here principal who, in this case dev user. So these 5 blocks we can see that, and action. So what they can do, they can get objects and they can put object. And then on what resource, here you can see on this specific bucket. And then what they can do, we allowed it, we didn't deny. And then condition when they match from when they get from this particular IP. So that's how you can write JSON format. So once you understand this, how to write JSON file, and then how to read this statement, then that one. So let me show you. If you want to give the same user on S3 EC2 permissions, what you can do, let's grab this. So the same JSON file I'm going to write. So that it's, as I said, that this statement can have multiple permissions. So just grab from here to here. So if you use you can edit this file in any text editor, but if you use VS Code, it's going to be easier because it gives syntax highlights. You can see this bracket starts here and ends here, so that gives a clear idea. So if I put that in the next line, I'm just going to paste it. Now I'm going to see an error. So as it can have multiple statements, so because this is one and this is another one, so you just need to separate with them comma. That's been balanced now. So let's say allow EC2, and then effect we are going to allow, and then principal we don't need. I'm just gonna get rid of this. I'm not gonna give any this one is I'm going to, if I'm going to put, apply to this a user, for instance, so I don't need that one. Then here what I'm going to allow, so you can simply put this way as well, EC2 and then star. That means everything inside EC2, so they can terminate the machine, they can create, and they can stop. But basically if you don't, we don't use this because if you follow that security best practices, least privileges, then you need to give minimum permissions to users. If they need EC2 start only stop, you can specifically do that only. But in here EC2 action asterisk means they can do anything inside that EC2. So that's what it means. And which resource, if you want to give on specific EC2 machine, then you can give that. If you want to give on all EC2 machines, you can simply put asterisk. That means they can do on all EC2 machines. And then if you want to have a condition, this is an optional field. If you want, you can do. If you don't want to have, just get rid of this. That's been balanced now. So this is how you can write JSON IAM policies. So I hope you understand this, because in next videos we're going to make use of these things. And that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching.